Welcome. I am delighted with this next installment that we're going to do on the whole theme of what gets in our way in terms of growth and evolution. And today we have with us Diane Lund, who is many things, actually.
Your friend?
Yes, friend as first and foremost. But she is the president, the founder of Creative Wonders, an award-winning marketing company. She's also a spiritual seeker and has been, I'd say, darn near all her life. And lastly, a teacher in the Course in Miracles. So there's many perspectives that Diane could speak from, and we may touch on all of them. So Diane, welcome. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Lynn.
I'm delighted. I really, truly feel people will enjoy and be nourished by what you have to say. So,
great.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Good. So we've chosen this theme of growth and evolution, and there's lots of stuff happening in terms of that, but what do you think gets in people's way in terms of growing and evolving? If you were to just
Well,
pick
I
something.
think often one of the big things that gets in people's way is they think they know the answer.
Okay, say more. Keep going.
They think they know the answer, and so when you think you know the answer, you look in that direction.
True enough.
And if you think you know the answer, you get moving.
Yeah.
And you don't open the door for curiosity, asking questions, and maybe looking at something that you hadn't thought of.
Right.
And to address that in my business, I did the Ready, Aim, Fire model.
Yeah, that's
Because I found that people tend to be good at brainstorming or creative things, or strategy things, planning things,
Yeah.
or executing things.
right. Aha.
So we live in a three-dimensional world. Ideas,
Yep.
thoughts, moving into planning, moving into execution.
Right.
So I call that Ready, Aim, Fire. And I have a little booklet that shows the three sides: Ready, Aim, Fire. And when they come together, people get growth.
Okay,
Things grow.
but without all three sides,
Without all three sides, without paying attention to all three sides, the form collapses. And you get a lot of busyness.
Right.
And not a lot of growth.
interesting. So you're differentiating, which is lovely, the difference between growth and just busyness.
I'm just busyness, just
Yeah.
pure busyness, where lots of times people are working in their company and they're going, I don't understand. We've been so busy. We've done so much, but we seem to be exactly the same as we were last year.
Yeah.
Why is that? And it's because they often get together and they have a whole bunch of ideas, a big brainstorm. And then, okay, now we've all got these ideas and we all get to work.
Right.
That's Ready, Fire.
And so what's the one that they're really not stepping into?
They're not looking at the strategy, the aim.
Ah.
Is that really what we need to be doing? Do we need to be going out to our target group and asking that, is that what you really need? I often give the example of people who are planning a great, maybe party or fundraiser for
Right.
something. And they have all these great ideas. They get together. It's so exciting.
Oh, yes.
And then they all decide who's doing what. Maybe they're going to bake cakes, and they all go and bake cakes and rent halls and do everything great. They are going Ready, Fire.
Ready, fire.
But then what happens is they end up being on the Super Bowl day.
Ah,
And nobody comes because everybody is going to something else.
right,
So there was just an aspect that they didn't want to look at.
right.
A place that they didn't want to go. In that case, it was a little bit more strategy and planning.
So that really, for me, what I start thinking about is what's the area you find people don't want to go to personally?
I think it really depends on the person.
Okay,
So
give me
I
some
find,
examples.
people that are really comfortable with logic and analyzing, they want to do the lists and the studies and then move into executing them.
Right.
And they feel that's great.
Yeah.
And they're not so interested in what kind of new idea could I have? What kind of curiosity could I bring to it? How could I answer this a bit different than I've done in the past? And so they repeat that aim, fire, aim,
Right.
fire, aim, fire. So there's that one kind of person.
Right, and they don't want to go into the unknown.
They
is
don't
what
want
I'm
to.
hearing.
They don't want to go into the big ideas,
The
the
unknown.
unknown,
Yeah.
the blank page.
Right.
They want to stick with what they know,
Okay,
and they want to stick with the research methods and the methodology that they perhaps learned at school or that the bank is going to accept, and so they stay with these
Tried and true,
Tried and true,
Yeah.
yes. And they actually get to the point where they don't like a particular thing. And not only do they not like it, they don't trust it.
Right.
Like, I don't trust new ideas. Oh, that frightens me. Don't give me the blank page. I mean, a lot of adults, you'll see that if you give them a page and a paintbrush and say, paint.
Yeah. Yeah.
What am I going to paint, right? They're
Yeah,
frightened.
yeah.
And whereas a creative person
Like
would
yourself.
love the ideas.
Yeah.
And where's that paintbrush? Let me get at it, right? I don't want to stop and say, well, is this the right color, right kind of paint to go on this particular type of paper? Is it going to soak through and onto my tablecloth, and now I've wrecked
Right.
my new white linen tablecloth? I don't stop
Right.
to consider some of those things.
Right. So there's
so-
strengths and weaknesses for each then.
There are.
Yeah.
And so it really depends on the kind of person you are. And some people get very, they get down even tighter to they're just a list maker. They're always making lists, but they're never executing the list. Or they're always coming up with new ideas,
But never.
but never taking it another step. Or they're just firing, doing,
Right.
doing,
Yeah.
and they burn out.
Yeah.
Too much
Okay.
fire.
So now, if you had to pick one thing you'd say people should stop doing, there was just one that you'd say, what might you offer?
What should people stop doing?
And the reverse, I was also going to ask, what is one thing you'd say people should add to their life or start doing?
What should people stop doing?
Yeah.
In business
Sure.
or just in their personal life?
You could answer from either.
What
Whichever
should
comes
people stop doing? Well, they might stop doing the same old, same old.
Right. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean,
The
if you've
comfortable.
done it this way, the same old way forever, you might just challenge yourself to try it a different way, just like I did when I drove here.
Yeah.
I'd never gone that way.
Yeah.
Can I go a new way and find a new answer?
Beautiful.
So,
Which is a combo of stopping the familiar and stepping into
the unfamiliar.
yeah.
And not from a place of it being unfamiliar, but sort of, for me, from a place of curiosity.
Right.
It could be a journey, it could be
Yeah.
adventure. I could discover something I've never known about myself or about my business or anything. So just more from a curiosity place, not a judgmental place.
I hear you.
Not a place, well, I'm doing it wrong. Not that place.
No. Right.
But a discovery place.
Good. If you think about in business what's changed and what people really need to be embracing, is there something that stands out for you? Because we're looking at growth and evolution. Because you've watched tremendous changes in the world of marketing. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Huge.
So what should they be looking for or changing? Sorry.
Yeah, well, just in terms of business, is there something that you really would encourage people beyond just the trying something new? Is there, the shifts in business have been so big, people are often, I think, wanting to slow change down, put the brakes on. And I don't think change is going to slow down. I don't think the pace is going to slow.
No, I don't think so either. It's not going to slow.
No. So thoughts, recommendations?
Well, I guess the thing that I would tell people is to trust yourself.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what is happening around you, you have innate knowledge at your disposal. All of your experiences, your wisdom, but also, if you're tapped in, the universe will help you, will guide you. And so to really use your own intuitive abilities to see you through things, right? Because change is going to keep coming.
Yeah.
And we can't do it all.
Right.
So is this something for me intuitively? Do I resonate with that or do I not?
And so last question, if we have time, let's go into the spiritual area because it seems so much more prevalent today in terms of we're talking about it, it's mainstream, there's articles, there's lots of courses and things people could be engaging. You've noticed the thirst, the hunger for the spiritual.
For sure.
Do you see a link between that and business. Do you want to comment? What would you like to say about the whole area of the spiritual for people?
Well, it has definitely come way more into the mainstream. I mean, when I was, I've been studying the Course now, Course in Miracles, for 30 years.
Yeah.
And when I first started studying, it was way out there.
Yes.
And now it's not quite so out there. I mean, certainly Marianne Williamson, who has made it quite famous, wrote her book, I think, A Return to Love, 20 years ago almost. Yeah. So it's becoming more mainstream. And I would say if I referred back to my Ready, Aim, Fire model that I use in business, Ready is the coming out of the blue. It's the spirit. It's the ideas coming from the spiritual. And business tends to be, I want the strategy, I want the business plan, and then I want to execute it. And then I'll give you money for that. But I don't want to look over here at the unknown, at the things I can't measure. You know, things like love. How do you measure love?
Right.
How do you measure creativity?
Yeah.
How do you actually know when something's good or not good when you're looking at a piece of art? These are difficult things. Things where you have to trust yourself.
But you've integrated those. I know from our conversations, you've brought those together in business.
And that's what I think business needs to do, is to bring that together, is to integrate that creative, spiritual side that we haven't paid attention to. And I'm talking mainstream business.
Right.
And bring that more in, make it more credible. Make it a part that when I go to look at something and judge whether this is for me or not, it's not just about the business plan. It's not just about the facts on the piece of paper.
No.
It's not just if you're going to go to, you know, one of those dating sites, do they like to walk on the beach?
Right.
You know, it's about how do I feel about that person? What's the connection? And I think that it takes you into a more authentic realm of who you are as a person. And whether or not that speaks to you, and whether or not that fulfills you. And that's the part that I think has been missing. A lot of people have maybe made a lot of money, but is money success?
Right. Or fulfillment.
Or fulfillment, or significance, as we've talked about. You know, is it more about bringing a part of yourself that's truly true? Like when I work with people, I make sure that I work with their authentic self.
Right.
Not the self they want people to see.
But who they are.
But who they are, because I know from working, writing and doing graphic work for companies, and if I'm branding something, if I dress you up as something you totally aren't, how long is that going to last? It's not going to last.
No.
You're not going to be, you won't be able to carry it.
No.
Because it's not who you are.
Exactly.
And I think that's where a lot of advertising and marketing has been in the past.
Create the image and then have the person step in.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we know it doesn't work.
Right. So you've really reversed it.
I've reversed it so that you have to find out authentically who's the person or who's the company. Who are they authentically?
Yeah.
And then you have to message that.
Right.
And then people connect.
Exactly.
And then people can carry it forever.
Yeah.
Because we always walk around as who we are.
It fits.
Yeah, we never are who we aren't.
Right.
Unless we're putting something on, and then usually people know.
They can tell.
They can tell. Oh, you know, what's up.
Yeah. Diane, thank you. I would love to continue. I know we're out of time, but please enjoy this, and I will be in touch with you in a week, and we will have yet another presentation on growth and evolution. Thank you again.
Thanks, Lynn.